Hi, this is certainly bound to be a vastly different video than the norm of the kind of content I generally or have posted in the past. Truth be told, this is actually probably my third or fourth time refilming this introduction specifically, and I actually even had a script that I had written and was referring to every time I would film this intro, and I tried to find it before I started filming again this time round, except turns out I deleted it. So thank you, Jacky, for that. But yes, because of this, there's going to be a little bit of a jump back and forth in time. It's going to be me now filming the intro, then it's going to go back months in time, and then this video is presumably going to end months into the future for me. So I have been living in Auckland, New Zealand my entire life. It's where I was born and raised. However, for the past... it's been a long time now, actually. I have always really wanted to move overseas. Don't get me wrong, New Zealand is a lovely country. I wouldn't trade my childhood here for anything. That being said, as I've grown older and, one discovers that New Zealand is probably the most remote country in the entire world, or at least it feels like it sometimes, you naturally begin to kind of gravitate towards the idea of exploring elsewhere, which is a very common thing over here in New Zealand, where young people want to flee the nest and, see the big wide world and so forth. But having said this, after 5, 6, even potentially 7 years of dreaming of perhaps moving overseas and trying it out, I'm doing it. Now, for real. Very absurd considering I still feel very young and uneducated. I've always been a very strictly overachieving academic student. However, I've never credited myself to having particularly great life skills, because obviously, as one would say, book smart and street smart are two completely different things. And living in a very safe, laid-back country my entire life has not particularly possessed me with any situation in which I would learn the latter. So I basically just wanted to film this video because YouTubers possess no understanding of what a private life is. Just kidding. I really didn't have an issue with kind of publicizing this process because, man, I'm only 20. I just graduated university less than a month ago. I have never lived overseas. I've never even taken a flight on my own before. So this experience I've chosen to undertake is more than just kind of slowly weaning myself into the deep end of the pool. I'm catapulting over the shallow end to the complete other end, which is funny when I tell you where exactly I'm moving to, and just kind of sparing myself no mercy and hoping that I figure it out. I have kind of chosen and locked down a place years prior to doing this, which has been Canada, Toronto to be specific. I should probably put a disclaimer here because I know what the internet is like, and I can already feel the comments brewing. Be like, why would you move to Canada? Or why did you move to Toronto? This place is so bad. Oh my god, I lived here my whole life. I hate it. I want to move out, blah, 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 blah. It's the internet. Someone is going to be displeased regardless. So just for precaution, I'm going to lay this out and just leave it. I've done an extensive amount of research, considering if you pull out a map and you look where New Zealand is, and you consider where Canada is, and we have the entire globe between the two countries, you would hope that I would do some good research on where the hell I'm choosing to reside for the next couple years. And obviously in many cases it comes down to just going and figuring out for yourself whether a place works well for you or not. And I have made myself pretty content with the idea that whether I go to Canada, I find a job and I thrive or so forth, or if I move and I absolutely despise it and I freeze to death in the winter from hypothermia and I can't find a job and I go broke and everything just hits the fan and I'm like, this shit sucks, at least I'm gonna grow. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video where I kind of lay everything bare to witness probably what will be quite a chaotic process of me applying for a visa, obtaining the visa, figuring out what the hell I'm doing, and what moving 14,000 kilometers across the world entails. Surviving over there, because I'm going in the middle of winter, and for the record, winters don't get any colder than like 5 degrees here, maybe, where I live, so I'm gonna be going from that to in the negative, so I'm gonna freeze to death, basically. And ultimately, as abhorrently cliche as this sounds, if this video helps anyone, perhaps someone who is going through similar circumstances, you're young, you're oblivious, you're starry-eyed, and you wanna do something extreme like what I'm doing. I was actually speaking to one of my friends about this, and she said something to the effect of, So you've never flown overseas to another country without, like, your family. Never lived anywhere, even temporarily, overseas. You've never lived amid, like, a downtown scene in a big city. You've never lived anywhere where the winters actually get cold and you witness snow. Nope. You've never lived with roommates or anyone besides your family. And you're going out and you're doing all of this anyway. So yeah, I figured if me documenting my absolute rising or my tragic downfall, if it helps anyone, then I've done a good deed. That being said, I am quite excited to share something quite personal, well, extremely personal. Everything else on my YouTube channel is quite shitposty, one might say. Whereas this is deeply personal and very much relevant to my life, considering it is my life. I'm literally taking my life as it has stood for the past however many years and flipping that table on itself. So who knows what my life is going to look like in a few months' time. Who knows what my YouTube channel will look like in a few months' time. I feel like I've grown quite fond of this background that I've accumulated for myself. I'm going to have to part ways with that pretty soon, which sucks. But hey, you know, as many love to say, and this is also disgustingly cliche, is the whole when one door closes, another opens. So when one YouTube background is taken down and left forever, a new one will present itself, and it may very well be just a blank apartment wall, probably, for a while. So yeah, I'm gonna send you back in time now to when I first applied for a working holiday visa. Hey, it is June 5th, 4 p.m, and I officially just got the ball rolling. I applied for the IEC working holiday visa pool thingy, and I'm now a candidate. So yeah, that's super exciting. We'll see how that goes. Hi. RIP my ring from some random market in New York that's already been thrown off. I mean, it's too big for me. I've like squished into this janky looking oval for it to like actually fit. Anyway, I haven't done much. I just applied to enter the pools for the IEC working holiday visa and they accepted me and I've been sitting in the pool since. It's June 12th, did I say that? It hasn't been very long. I've got an email from them, so we'll see if, I don't know what they want. Dear Jacky, Alex Jones, we are pleased to invite you to apply for the working holiday IEC work permit under the International Experience Candidate Program. Like a rough idea on what the process looks like, but I don't know, like I just didn't think they would offer this so soon, you know? Like everywhere I read they said it'd be like a couple of months to have them pull me from the pool and then offer me like an invite. Wait, how many days has it been? They accepted me June 4th. It's now June 12th. So what, it's been like 8 days? You now have two options: apply online for the IEC work permit or decline the invitation. You will not be able to start an application based on this invitation after the day and time listed above. Once you start your application, we'll give you a letter in your account showing the deadline to submit the completed permit application. You cannot give extensions. Oh my god. So I guess I'm applying then, like now. Oh my god, I didn't think things would be happening so soon. It's been a week. I was expecting like months. It's been a week and I'm starting. That's crazy. So I'm not directly referring to the paperwork they sent me, but as you can see, I have to send in a police certificate to prove that I'm not a criminal. Medical exams, I have to give them my resume, passport, I need to get a photo taken. Oh man. Mission success, I got my photo taken. And I have the receipt to prove that it was taken by a reputable photographer. I don't really know what difference it makes. Funny enough though, when I went into the pharmacy and I was like, hey, I need my photo taken, and they were like, oh, for what country? And I was like, you know, it's just a Canadian like temp work visa. She's like, yeah, like that's fine, come in. Went in the back with her, she sat me down and I had to fill out like a little form. And I shit you not, I was reading just through the form, and one of the last sentences it had was, we cannot, or we're not authorized, or something along the lines. Like, we cannot take photos for British passports and Canadian passports. And I was like, oh, is this fine? Like, can we still cool with this? And she was like, wait, what? And she like looked at it and she was like, it should be fine, right? Because I'm not applying for a Canadian passport, like citizenship. I'm just doing like a temporary, it should be fine, right? She's like, yeah, it'll be fine. So I don't get what difference it makes. Like, it's still just a digital photo of me. Anyway, and more importantly, Guess what bad boys I picked up at the store? Come on now. Pretty much does it. Since that photo was the last on my list, I just got my confirmation that it's been received. And yeah, now we wait and see. Obviously, I wasn't able to film anything in there. Just doing a little bit of paperwork and getting my photos and fingerprint taken. And getting this neat little sticker on my passport. Also, ignore the mountainous pile of sushi that I have in the corner. Dude, look how beautiful that looks. June 27th, I just got yet another email from government in Canada telling me to check my account. Considering I only completed my biometrics like a few days ago really, and then did an additional family document, I'm just gonna assume it's gonna be something to do with verifying either that or more paperwork. I'm becoming so accustomed to doing paperwork through this entire process. Just verified my biometrics as I thought, which is great. Love that. In case I don't really know what the other one is. What the fuck? Dude. I was wrong. They don't want more paperwork from me. My application to work in Canada has been initially approved by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. What the f? A decision to issue a work permit and allow you to enter Canada is made after an examination by an officer in Canada. I just got the f***ing golden ticket. This is like the Willy Wonka's in the Chocolate Factory golden ticket right here. I have a year to enter the country from today. I'm just trying to comprehend what I'm like looking at. How is it even possible? I only submitted like my biometrics and other paperwork that they wanted from me like a few days ago. And they... How? Okay, someone lied to me in this process because I was told by everyone, right? I was doing my research online from word of mouth. Everyone's like, if you want to enter the country, in the next 12 months, you need to apply now. Like, you need to apply ASAP because, like, processing time, it takes forever. And I was surprised by how early they even gave my invitation to, like, even apply. But then once I did that and then I went through the whole process, they were like, it'll take about 8 months. 8 months to process from applying with the work permit to actually receiving it. I did everything in under a month. I have a year to enter the country. My little timer is ticking now. It's no longer just like, oh, Jacky wants to go overseas type of deal. Jacky wants to go here. She wants to do this. It's happening now. Update. I've been back at uni now, but I just finished reading through an insane amount of insurance stuff because I was trying to pick what insurance company to go with. Just because the way my working holiday visa works is you must have a health insurance for the entire 2 years of its duration, otherwise they'll kick you out as soon as it's over. So I've done so much reading of the stuff, and honestly, can you see how tiny the fine print is? This stuff is agonizing, dude. It's so weird reading about how companies value your life and your health. And also, literally just yesterday, I went to consult this lady at like a flight center. I just wanted to talk to someone about the way that the visa also works. You must have like a return ticket, or you have to have proof of sufficient funds you can pay for your ticket home. But I spoke to her about it and she told me that they can't give me like a open date return ticket. That's kind of what I was hoping for. She said it had to be within 10 months and it's 2 years, so it doesn't really work. So where I'm at the moment is to book my one-way ticket. One-way ticket. I can't even really fathom what that means for me. It's August 4th, 8:41 p.m. and I just booked my ticket. As you saw, how huge of a distance that ticket actually spans. I think there's really no point in me stalling any longer. Like, I may as well just get it over and done with. Yeah, suddenly sinks in a little bit, right? Like, it's a non-refundable ticket, this is it. But it still doesn't hit me that much, which, if anything, kind of makes me more nervous about what it's gonna be like in a couple months' time when I actually, hopefully, start intaking the reality of my situation. December 10th, I decided I would stick to that date. Literally 1 month after I finished university. I just can't imagine myself, like, in the airport, you know? It's weird. Like, I can imagine myself packing all my shit into suitcases, driving to the airport, getting all my luggage checked in and so forth. But when it comes to, like, going through security, waiting for my gate, boarding the plane, sitting there for like 13 hours, and then another 5 hours, I don't know. I think definitely once I'm on the plane, alone with my just thoughts to myself, is when it's really gonna hit me. And I'm gonna be like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? So here we have it, today's purchase, humongous suitcase. This is like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You got Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear. Except they're all suitcases that I actually don't think I'm gonna take all of them, to be honest. That's probably gonna be a little bit ridiculous. And if I take this one out, it's like a math equation. If Jacky goes overseas for a total of 365 times 2, how many suitcases will Jacky need for those 24 months? Now that we've figured that equation out, if we divide the amount of storage per suitcase, and we recognize that Jacky has an inordinate amount of clothes, how we divide this evenly to maximize our space. December 2nd, 10 p.m. I think I've finally come to accept that finding an apartment prior to getting married is not gonna happen. It's been 2 months, 2 whole months of trying, and it's just become very evident that I am no better at banging my head against a wall than I am trying to do this. So that has been incredibly frustrating to kind of just accept defeat. But if there's one good thing to come out of this, I have found a place to stay. Temporarily, it's definitely not a long-term solution, but I have people there who are willing to take me in, the absolute sweethearts that they are, until I can get on my own feet, which hopefully will be easier than it is here, because it is agonizing. 1 week left to go from today, pretty much. This last, week stretch has really had me contemplating why I thought this was a good idea. shoelaces are untied. This is exactly what I need. It's like Mickey Mouse here. I was gonna film more. Basically, I got turned around at the airport because I didn't have my working holiday visa. So they sent me all the way out of the airport and I had to go all the way back in, get my visa, wait for that, then re-check in, re-go through security, do everything, and I'm running to my gate. So there's your explanation as to why I haven't been filming this very beautiful airport. Actually, Vancouver's very pretty. Hey, editor Jacky here. Ironically, this rush was not warranted at all. I did get stuck as I was attempting to transfer flights and then was turned around, effectively diminishing all the hard work I had done running to the front of the queue only to be sent out of it entirely. And I did indeed have to navigate my way through the airport and find the immigration office and then sit in there and awaiting them to print me my working holiday visa on a piece of paper. You know, hoping they would do it all in time before my plane and bags left for Toronto without me. But like some comedic joke, after I'd done all of the above, got on my visa, ran across the airport, had to re-undergo security, and then got picked out by security, and then had to wait even longer, and then run across the entirety of the airport back to my gate. I boarded my flight, and then after 4 hours, sat there waiting, the plane never took off. In fact, they kicked us all off, saying that something was wrong with it and the flight was cancelled and we were left entirely in the dark for the better part of the entire day. And I, you know, as beautiful as Vancouver's airport was not wanting to get stuck there any longer, nor was I really feeling like filming any of it, which I hope you can forgive me for because I was just so stressed out. It is snowing. What the? It's actually not that cold though. Oh, ew, I got a piece of ice in my mouth. Damn. It's chunky out here. And here's the beach. Wow. What a beautiful beach. It's a far cry from home. Hi, hello, from Toronto, Canada. We made it. We're no longer in Auckland, New Zealand, and that is coming from 2:53 p.m. on the 12th of January. You may have noticed, considering my flight was on the 10th of December, that there has been a time jump, essentially a month at this point. It is my deepest regrets that for the past few weeks, I did not film anything, which is a decision not made lightly, as I could feel at every waking moment my bubbling regret for not being as methodically consistent as I had been back home. The reality is, moving across the world was scary and daunting, and the first night I arrived, I literally experienced fight or flight like none other. I swear never before have I felt such shock, or perhaps even just fear, upon landing in a different country and just feeling all the gravity just drop upon my shoulders at once. Just that realization of how very real this all is now, and the fact that I won't be coming home for God knows how long. And realistically, there was just no shot that I was going to whip out my camera at like 3 a.m. to document my nervous breakdown. But I figured I would give a brief little rundown on what my life has looked like since I got here, considering you've made it this far, apparently, which, thank you. I don't really know how to process that, but it means a lot to me, genuinely. The first couple weeks I spent, as stated before, in a quaint little apartment with 3 other people and their 2 cats and snake. Yes, you heard me right. I fled as far as I could from Australia, and yet I still managed to end up with snakes next door. Fortunately, this one was pretty chill though. He was a cute little yellow fella called Bambi, which is honestly kind of a comedic name for a snake, but I digress. And the cats were honestly more than welcome because it just made coping with leaving my own child, my little baby bro Zeus, a lot easier, because I think if anything just like hurts more than the rest on a daily basis, it was definitely leaving him. Still miss that guy a lot. I think flighting with people for the first little period, despite it obviously not having been my ideal plan of going about things, was honestly a blessing in disguise. It was an opportunity for me to befriend a few people before going out and living on my own, and it was an opportunity I needed. While I felt pretty guilty in taking up space in an already rather crammed apartment, being around people and their corresponding pets helped a lot. As mentioned, the beginning, it was tough. I knew it was going to be rough. I knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park, but it really does not quantify until you are there, until you are in that position. I felt and still feel very much like an imposter being here. The imposter syndrome just it's strong. But the first couple weeks I spent kind of just settling myself in, i.e. the boring stuff, setting up a bank account, buying winter underclothes because it's so f***ing cold here. How do people live like this? Like, I've heard of seasonal depression, but this was just never something I fully understood until I got here. The sun would set at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. I would wake up and have like 3 hours of daylight. You know, getting a phone plan, mustering up the courage to leave the apartment on my own and not get lost. I was also trying to continue to find an apartment. And wouldn't you know, after 2 months of going through some of the worst stress ever back home, within a week of being in the country, you managed to secure a place. Like some sort of godsend. Some sort of comedic joke. It cost a hefty amount up front, unfortunately, but it was a far cry from over not having a roof over one's head. So then came move-in day, 18th of December, and that was crazy. Mind you, the only thing we hired was a van. The rest we did ourselves, which was packing up all of the old existing furniture from the old unit, carrying all of it down a very finicky flight of 3 stairs, there's no elevator, loading them out into the van on the street, driving to the new apartment, carrying them out of said van all the way into the back end of like the apartment complex, and then carrying them up a flight of stairs to get them into the service elevator, then riding that service elevator up to our floor, and then dragging it out into our apartment. Yeah, it was not a small nor light task. But hey, we're here now in my new little office den, to be exact, which is honestly quite barren at the moment, and I've still yet to figure out how I want to decorate or furnish it. But we made it. There's certainly still a lot I need to get done, and it's a far cry from me feeling fully settled in. Job hunting has been an ongoing and far more excruciating process that I just don't even want to get into it. But in the meanwhile, I'm very much looking forward to getting back into my little YouTube grind that I want to get more consistent with this year, among other creative endeavors. Yeah, I just have to see where life takes me from here, because it's a very uncertain period in my life, and my mood has been swinging like a pendulum back and forth for the past month that I've been here. Some days I'm like, this is great, this is everything I ever wanted. Other days I'm like, just bury me 6 feet under. I don't even know what I'm doing here at this point. So there's a lot to process and continue to process, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of vlog opportunity, which I'm looking forward to getting into. I'm gonna go apply for some more jobs and feel my soul depleting, literally sucking itself out of my body like a Dementor. I'm gonna go eat more of these cookies that I was introduced to during my time in Canada by some lovely people. This is not the exact brand, I'd get a different one, but like this, I'm sure we had it in New Zealand, but for some reason I've only started to eat them here and they are so good. They are so good. It's crazy. It's like crack. I've consumed maybe like 10 boxes of these on my own since I got here. Yeah, I hope to see you in another video. This is gonna be the background for a while. I have some video ideas lined up. I have one at the moment that I really wanna do. So that's exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to wrapping up this video so I can get started on that one. So yeah, thank you very much for coming this entire way with me and kind of getting a glimpse on something a lot more personal in my life. This is definitely the most vulnerable, I suppose would be the word to describe this video in comparison to the rest. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming this far. That's kind of crazy that you care about my life that much, that you would watch the entire thing. But I appreciate it a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye! Yeah.